cross from Hudson-Odoi, which Gibbs White very nearly turned into the City net. But at half-time, it is, I think, a fair reflection. Forest 0, City 0. Let's go back to the studio and get the thoughts of Paul Dickov, Andy Morrison and Natalie.
Dozo.
唯一無二を求めてる。
1時間だけ。
ちっちゃな時から浮気なお前でいつもハラハラするおいらはピエロさんさよなら気にするのか俺を
Super Dry. Seek what is unique.
Welcome back to Matchday Live. So it is half-time and it is Nottingham Forest 0, Manchester City 0. No shots on target for either team. Doesn't feel very festive to me, but hopefully we will look forward to a better second half. Still joined in the studio by Paul Dickov and by Andy Morrison. So in terms of the stats, gents, we're looking at 65% possession for City in that half. But as I mentioned, no shots on target for either team. City dominating possession, Paul, but we're not seeing too much.
Not up until the last third. We always know we're going to keep the ball. Got to give credit to Forest. They're working ever so hard without it, making it difficult. You know, whenever the camera spans out in the pitch, you've got the back four. They've got five strong across the middle, and Jesus all defending within their own half. And we've found it difficult to break them down. The couple of times we have done it, I think Phil Foden and Cherky are going to be the ones that get in little spaces in between the centre half and the full back. But you've got to give Forest credit as well. They've made it really, really difficult for us.
Right, we'll get into that first half a little bit more and get the gents' opinions on what's going on and what we can look forward to in the second half as well. Before we do, we've got another Christmas emoji game for you. We did 3 of these before the game. I've got one for you now and then one at full time as well. How are you getting on? I hope you are doing well. I have 2 out of the 3 so far. Now, the 4th one is on the screen for you now. If you're watching on YouTube, on Facebook, on X, pop your answer in the comments right now. So, your emojis that you can see. A coffin and a strong arm. Oh yeah, a coffin and a strong arm. So think Christmas films or not. There's an extra clue for me. Some will say yes, some will say no. Get your answers into the comments right now on our emoji game. You got this one, Andy?
Yeah.
Yeah, easy?
Yeah.
Christmas film?
Well, not Christmas theme, but around Christmas.
OK, so in terms of that first half for City, Andy, I mentioned, as Paul talked about, their dominating possession. In terms of Forest, despite the fact that City are dominating possession, they look happy, they look comfortable. I'm sure Sean Dyche is going in at half-time feeling very happy with what they've done.
Yeah, and I think we're entitled to be a bit disappointed with the first half. You know, I've been interested to see what the XG is on it. It's probably the lowest of the season, and that. Because we've not asked no questions of them whatsoever. It's been too passive, it's been too slow, and we just allowed it to get into a slow tempo. We didn't start the game fast, and Forest have pressed well, you know, but you know they've not really caused us a problem apart from the one ball, which was which was a great ball into the box, which they probably disappointed didn't score from. But we had not asked enough questions of them. So I think what the manager will be saying at half time is we can only get better than that, boys. And maybe I think Michael spoke about it. Savino looks as though we look as if we need a bit of creativity in wide areas, because it's become a very much a switch ball back into midfield, and we're looking at our 2-10s, and it's very suffocated in there. So it looks like in the wide areas are where we'll be able to hurt them second half.
The XG, Andy, for Forest 0.04 and for City 0.3.
Wow. Yeah, well, and that's probably the lowest for us for the season, and I think that's a reflective really of what we've seen, because we haven't asked enough questions, we're not enough put balls into the box, we've not got enough shots off, their keeper hasn't had to work, and they've not been hanging on. It's been a very, very passive 45 minutes, which I think the manager will come into his own now at half time and really shake it up and get them to go out, because if we're going to go and achieve what we need to achieve, we need to ask more questions than that.
In terms of talking points from that first half as well, you both talked about Igor Jesus before the game, about you were a big fan of his, Andy, and we talked about the way he backs in, and we referred him to you, Paul, so perhaps you can see some of yourself in him in that first half. But we have seen a lot of what you talked about, a lot of backing in, a lot of drawing fouls. Ruben Diaz has picked up a booking as well. Yeah, and Josko's very lucky not to have picked up one. He's... me and Andy were talking off camera from a centre-half's point of view and a centre-forwards, and he's a lot bigger than me and it's different levels and everything else, but if the ball's coming up to me and I'm playing up front, me, and I want to feel the centre-half, I want to know where he is, and as soon as they try and win it for me, I'm going down, or I'm holding the ball up, I'm winning a foul and getting my team up the pitch. I just feel as if that they're maybe a little bit too tight too early on them. By the time it's coming up to him, when the ball's coming into him, they're getting there at that point, Andy. Yeah. And they're making it easy for him to either get hold of the ball or give away a foul. So I think sometimes you've just got to use your brain a little bit. He's done it really well, and I spoke about it. The last game I watched Nottingham Forest, and I thought he was exceptional at it. Like I said, he was a pest. I said this before the game. He's backing in all the time. He's looking for you. He wants to feel you. But when a ball gets played into him, the battle is won when the ball's on the way, not when it lands. Yep. When it lands, it's too late. You have to have done all your hard work and your physical work when it's coming to unsettle him. Then his first touch is bad and people nick it off him. But too often he's been able to pin us as the ball's arrived, and that's... I just think that they're getting too tight too late. Yeah. I would struggle as a centre. If the ball's coming up to me as a centre forward and I can't feel my centre half or know where he is, I'm wondering where he is, and it takes your eye off the ball and it panics you a little bit. As it's coming up to you and you can feel them, you're in control. Right. You use the centre forward in control. He's caused us a lot of problems. He has. So you want to see Guardiola and Diaz taking a step back almost? Maybe it's just timing it a little bit. It's timing. It's all about the timing. That like I say, the battle's got to be won when the ball's coming, not when it's arrived. And it's a little bit too late of what they're doing. And he's just done them. He's just clever in what he's done. And the referee's bought it a little bit. And while he has, and he's let a couple go. And I imagine there'll be more bookings that'll go on. And probably the fans are up as well, which gives them an energy. And you need that. Nottingham Forest need that against City. To make it an ugly game, to make it difficult. Because if it just comes down to pure football, then they're going to get played off the park, so they've got to try and find another way, and it looks like a Sean Dyche team, doesn't it? It looks awkward, hard to beat, organised, disciplined. It's everything we expected. For me, it's just how long they can keep that up. Yes. Because from the defence, the midfield tasers, they are working. So, the ground Elliot Anderson's covered already is off the scale, or must be off the scale. And it's how we us keeping possession and looking to probe and keeping the ball and then pressing. It's get 60, 70, 75 minutes. First thing that goes when you're tired is absolutely is your head a little bit, So it just all depends. Can they keep that going for so long? And when they tire a little bit, can we then be a bit more incisive in what we're doing in and around the box? And obviously we've seen that in a Pep Guardiola team so many times. We feel like we've had this conversation where at half-time it's been a little bit frustrating, and it's a case also of City remaining patient, keeping doing the work as well, and just like you say, waiting for them to make a mistake, and then we jump on it and capitalise it on Andy. Yeah, it is, Nat, and with full respect, and I don't like to use the word dope, but it's it's called dope football. And you're moving the ball continually and you're waiting for the opposition, one of them eventually, to switch off. Yeah. And just, you're looking for the dope that doesn't quite shut the angles off, get the distances right, and then we can find Cherokee or Foden. And that will, what they do have now is they have 5 subs, so they can freshen it up and get people in there with legs that can still, whether they can come into the pace of that game. But what all the work that we're doing now by moving the ball really quickly and quick throw-ins, quick free kicks, keep the ball moving, is to allow us on 65, 70, 75
minutes. Then to try and then we've got to tire them out now with that passing, and it's just a bit too slow because we haven't done that enough. And like you say, Paul, they have worked their socks off Forest. Whether they can do that for 90 minutes, I'm not sure, because we've got the quality to open it up. If they switch off once, we will find it.
But we have to be a bit more progressive now we play as well, because everything's in front of them at the minute, and they are making it difficult by getting into a good shape. But all the possession we have, their back four are comfortable at the minute.
Yeah.
And there's two sitting midfielders, because everything's in front of them. They're not having to thinking about going to the channel, or not having to thinking about that space between the centre half and the full back for somebody. It's just not happening at the minute. So maybe just ask a few more questions and move them around a bit as well.
So you want to see City come out in the second half a lot quicker, a lot stronger in the first few minutes of the second half?
Yeah, 2 or 3 times we've done it in the first half and we broke the lines into fellow Cherky. Yeah. All right, the shots might have been blocked or it came of nothing, but that's when we've looked our most dangerous, because a couple of times, 2 or 3 times they have switched off, but we've used that to our advantage. I think Phil's had a shot blocked.
Yeah, Cherky's had 2.
Cherky's had 2. Yeah. Erling's little run down the side that Cherky put him in. You know, they're the occasions where Cherky and Phil have managed to get that little bit of space when they have switched off.
Yeah. Other thing I noticed in the first half as well, a couple of the Nottingham Forest corners, you talk about the frustration element of it. They were very, like, I imagine it's how my son and his friends play when they're in a corner. You know, there's lots of shoving, lots of pulling, lots of moaning, lots of in the referee's ear. You know, it had to be retaken once, was a whistle once. That kind of frustration element's quite noticeable, Andy.
And I think it's part of the game now, Natalie. I think you've got to get into the referee's mind that he's going to start looking for somebody grabbing hold of someone. If you're just passive and you go about it, you go up, corner comes in, nothing happens. But if we can get the referee thinking somebody's grabbing somebody, and then you can get contact with somebody and fall over. So it's all part of the game that's going on. And you can only do that by getting into the referee, and then he's got to buy that. And Donnarumma doesn't like people around. He's very physical. He doesn't want anyone near him, and which I love. Like, you know, he dominates that area. So they're trying to unsettle him, and they've not really affected us on any of the corners yet. But you can see that they're just trying to get into the referee. They're trying to get into our players' heads and just to annoy him, and rightly so. Rightly so.
They're trying to upset Donnarumma in that area, aren't they? Milinkovic has got in there. He's looking to stand on his toes back into him. He's pushing Nico O'Reilly around, and everybody's getting involved. And that's what they want. They want it to be chaos in there. You know, when you're defending corners, you need to be so focused on what you're doing, and they're trying to upset that.
They did all of that, and then they didn't beat the first man, which made me laugh as well. So if you're playing along with our Emoji Christmas film quiz, we are on number 4 now. I hope you are doing well. So your last one was a coffin and a strong arm. Paul, did you get it?
Die Hard. Die
Hard, of course it was. Is it a Christmas film?
Not for me.
Paul says no. Andy says yes.
I'm more of an elf man.
You're an elf. Oh, yeah. I don't know if that could be a really easy one. It'd just be a picture of an elf, wouldn't it?
Just put a picture of me.
You did well. Yes, I hope you got it there. If you did indeed, congratulations. Thank you for playing along. I have number 5 to do for you, which we will do at full time. So we're just a few minutes away now from the second half. We've kind of had an idea there of what you want to see in the second half. Savinho perhaps as well. You think maybe coming on 60, 70. Andy, he's made some impactful substitutions appearances in recent weeks.
Yeah, I mean, we rarely play against the back four, and what we do is we're able to, our 10s pull the wide men, their fullbacks, we narrow them in, and then when we get a switch of play, and you've got Doku now one-on-one, or on the other side Savinho, so when it's going to a fullback, it's not the same. If we can get those switches of play and get Savinho in a one-on-one situation, he's going to go and ask questions, and I just think we've lacked a little bit of creativity, and we've not frightened them on the switch of play. And it's really evident when we play against a back four, when we narrow in their fullbacks, that if we can find Savinho, I think that'll come as the game goes on.
Paul?
Yeah, very similar. One thing Savinho will do is get at his fullback, he'll stay wide. And I don't think MD's played particularly bad in that first half. I just think a different attacking threat to mix it up, because I said they've been comfortable. And what it does as well, if Savinho's going one-on-one with his fullback, the fullback's not going to be happy. He's going to have to drag somebody else out of their shape to try and help him out a little bit and create a 2v1. Somebody with that little bit of magic that's going to create something is a little bit different of what we've seen at the minute.
Thank you very much, Paul. Thank you, Andy. You can see there the Nottingham Forest team coming back out. There's the referees, and I can see G. There we are. How could I miss that kit there? So, second half coming up. Get your second half commentary on the City app right now with Alistair, Mann, with Michael Brown. We will all be back at full time for number 5 at our Christmas quiz, and also hopefully we are talking about a City goal which will take us top of the league, even if it is just for a few hours. So, big second half coming up, Blues. Back over to Ali.
Thanks, Natalie. The reality is that City didn't really have any chances in that first half. A few shots that were smothered before they were going to cause any damage. I think it's fair to say Sean Dyche's game plan has worked to